John Works, Montgomery County Tea Party, and I'm here with actually Angie Smith, and she's running for Magnolia ISD position 1. And it's Thursday, March 14th, 2019. With us is James Byers, Larry Rogers, and momentarily Dale Fessenden, and shortly thereafter Bob Bagley. So Angie, as we discussed, why don't we start off, you can kick things off by giving up to a 5-minute opening, and then we'll jump in with the Q&A after that.
Thank you. My name is Angie Smith. I am a resident of Magnolia. I have lived in Magnolia for roughly coming up on 7 years. I have 3 teenagers. I have an 18-year-old son who is scheduled to graduate from Magnolia West this year. I have twin daughters, Madison and Clarissa, who are graduating next year in 2020. I am currently the president of the Magnolia West High School Band and Guard Booster. I'm also president of the Magnolia West Project Prom Committee. I have been president of Magnolia West Band Booster for, this is my 3rd year, and I have been elected to be vice president next year. We have grown that program drastically, and we have brought in more scholarship money than ever before. We are pushing out upwards of almost $13,000 that we're giving out to our kids in the future. Their major does not have to be music. It can be anything that they want. We just want to push our kids to further their education levels. I was a secretary on an HOA board a few years back. I did that for a little over a year. I was instrumental in helping that and working with the Mud Board, which I was also a member of the Mud Board for 2 years. And I was instrumental in growing our security, making sure that we had enough officers for our district, which was one of the largest districts in Harris County. Also instrumental in putting in additional playgrounds for our kids. With all the growth in the area that I lived in Cypress, we needed additional playgrounds. I am married. I've been married for, oh my goodness, 19 years at the end of this month. 19 years. My husband works out in the oil field. He was injured a little over a year ago in an 18-wheeler rollover. And so he's been working on physical therapy and trying to get back to going to work. I literally live at Magnolia West High School. The kids like to joke that I have a room in the back of the school. Very, very busy up there, talking to teachers, talking to administration. My family does come from Magnolia. My maiden name is Nichols. So my family did start Nichols Sawmill. So yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Grew up close to my family, grew up playing on horses and cows and helping my great-grandfather and playing with dairy cows and just old traditional style upbringing involved with family.
Okay, great. Thanks for the overview. So under the question, the general category, the question was, is the board seat you seek to be elected to effectively fulfill its role? You said you think that it is, but you also feel that there can be improvements made across the board. Can you give me some ideas as to what you would do to make those improvements? And I think one of them said you need more recognition of more groups across the schools, and explain what that means to you as well.
Definitely. I think the school district does a great job of recognizing students and organizations, but I think that we need to step more outside of our normal athletic groups. I know my daughter was in ACADAC first time as a junior. They actually got recognized at the last school board meeting. That's the first time I've heard of ACADAC being recognized. I think that some of our smaller programs that we have within the schools, I enjoy Student of the Month, but I think that it needs to be more than just one Student of the Month. You need to do it across the elementary, the intermediate, the junior high, and the high school. Traditionally, it's only been elementary and high school. So that's kind of more groups overall.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Under the question, what makes you qualified? You gave 3 reasons, and the third one was safety. And you closed on that topic with, I know what our teachers need and want to ensure safety for all our students. So since you know, please tell us what you know about what the teachers want and need.
Definitely. So one of the initiatives that one of our teachers has been pushing is the teacher carry. I firmly agree. We need to have teachers that are qualified to carry. Some of the ideas behind that are things such as ongoing training, more further background checks, I will say, more mental checks along those lines, if these teachers are wanting to truly carry. It can't be a one-time training, it has to be ongoing. That is one of the things that I like to see in the school. The other thing is that I know at Magnolia West, they do drills to where the kids go into each individual classroom. The teachers have keys to the doors. Well, that's great and dandy, but what if you have a substitute? You have to wait for an administrator to come around. That's a problem. My daughter is actually actively looking at door jams that have been recognized by Harris County police officers that would simply lock the door into place to where the door cannot be opened. That's just 2 of the things as far as security goes.
Okay. Those are good thoughts. Good thoughts. Okay. James.
Now, it looks like the budget, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I am, for the school district, at least the current year, is around 108 million, 109 million. And it looks like the expenditures are on the order of just under $10,000 a student. You feel that that amount of money is adequate, that the school has the money that it needs, and that sort of thing, the facilities it needs?
I think that our students deserve better, which means we should see more spending per student and less on operations and less on maintenance. Those particular kids, it's great to grow one particular program, and the program that I'm thinking of is IB. It's great to grow it.
Is what program?
IB, the International Bachelorette Program,
Okay,
but not all colleges recognize it.
right.
So why do you keep putting money into something that isn't benefiting all of our kids? So yes, I think that more spending could go towards each student. But at the end of the day, we need to kind of bring in some of our spending on non-educational programs.
Now, of that 108 million, 63.5 million is spent specifically on instruction. So that only leaves about just under 50 million that's being spent on other things, but that includes the library, instructional leadership, school leadership, guidance, counseling, health services. The only really large one other than instruction is plant maintenance.
Exactly.
And that's only 12 or just under 13 million of the 108 million. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of fat there you could trim. If you cut it in half, that gives you another 5% of your budget for, I think, what you're saying you're wanting to spend it on. So where does that money come from?
Historically, other districts, larger districts, have involved the community. Bringing in community sponsorships, getting the community involved. Some of your larger companies like American Airlines is very involved with the school district in Dallas. They actually contribute money, but they also send in people who are going to train their kids to be airline mechanics, to do it the way American would want them to do it. And so then they turn around and hire them. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that we're out in Magnolia. We have Schlumberger not far. We have, they used to be called BJ Services. We have several oil companies right around the road from us, right down the road. Get them involved. have them help us and prepare our kids for their futures.
Is what you're saying? Oh, yeah, thank you, Bob. Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you were a MUD director, and you said you helped grow security for the residents, was that part of your MUD's responsibility?
It was.
That's unusual.
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Can I ask what that entailed?
Yes, definitely. I was instrumental in hiring our additional officers, involving constables, sheriffs, just regular security officers, HPD, collecting their timesheets, having them check in with me, collecting their paychecks from the district, handing them their paychecks, checking in. They had to check in at least once a shift with me.
And that was Cypher?
That was like yes, sir.
Is there any bond debt lingering from past bonds?
Yes.
Do you know how many bonds it is?
Last time I checked, just an interest alone was $84 million, just in interest. We have bonds that are scheduled to be paid out over the next 30 years.
Okay, how much does the superintendent make in your school district?
Last time I checked, he made a little under $200,000 a year, not including bonuses and travel expenses.
Can I chime in again?
Yes.
Were there bonuses?
Yes.
Do you know what those entailed?
I don't. I want to say that it was contingent upon how the district performed overall, is what I want to say.
Do you think that's a going rate for schools the size of, or ISDs the size of Magnolia?
No, I
Should
think
it
it's
be
higher. I think it's higher than what it should be.
Oh, really?
How many schools, facilities are in Magnolia School District?
We have 2 high schools, 2 intermediate, 2 junior high, and I believe it's 6 or 8 elementary schools, not including Alpha, DAAP, and now our event center.
Okay. Acronyms or what?
DAAP, that is the alternative school,
Okay.
instead of doing an in-school suspension.
Okay.
Let's see, there was a question here regarding security, and you said, okay, so it's under education. Imagine that. What level of school safety is appropriate? What ideas do you have to make our campus more safe? You said, I think our constables have done a great job. Does Magnolia Independent not have their own police force?
They do not.
Okay, good. Okay, and is it in the city limits, or is it under the jurisdiction only of the constable?
It's only under the jurisdiction of the constables.
Huh? And the sheriff's department, I would assume, or,
Sheriffs are not at the school. At each individual school. It's actually contracted out with the constable's office.
okay,
How many constables do you have at any one school at any time?
The high schools have 2, and I believe all the other schools have 1
Every day?
every day. And that's not including the additional security that school hires at Magnolia West and at Magnolia High. They have 3 additional security officers, but they don't carry, and they're not true officers.
do you think there's enough teachers out in the different schools that would participate in the concealed carry?
Absolutely.
program?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you in favor of that?
I am, very much so.
Okay. All right.
Okay, top 3 issues facing MISD in the next 5 years. Growth, educational programs, and teacher retention. Could you explain a little bit more about educational programs? What in particular are you thinking all the